Can anybody hear me? Oh, good, good. Okay, thank you. Fantastic. Okay, and we are good to go. Hi, everyone. This is Angelina. Thanks again for joining us here on our Smadaworld webinar. During this webinar today, we'll be going over general updates covering our Smadaworld adventures. As usual, we'll be having our Q&A at the end of the update, so please hold your questions until that time. And without any further wait, I'd like to welcome Mr. Noel Adams, our CEO and leader of the Smada team and founder of Next Level Africa. Welcome back to the mic, Noel.
The webinar on a different day, but we're trying to get you the information as quickly as we can as we get updated with it. There's quite a bit going on at the moment, so there's quite a bit of information that we haven't confirmed, so anything we haven't confirmed we'll just leave it at this time. Okay, just to cover where we're at, I have been told that line 8 is now ready and that will be sent to me. Our development team that was in the States, that they're in various places like Delaware, Baltimore, New York, Los Angeles, and with various meetings with people like the JP Morgan, Chase Bank Group and HSBC. So there's a lot of activity going on covering many things over there to do with our exchange and just a whole range of things that they had to discuss. So line 8, it's once again, I should have that when they land. It's been confirmed that it's been downloaded. It needed to be downloaded by the development team, and so they have downloaded it, so they'll get it to me. So we'll be really getting started onto that and getting a lot of things in place with the projects and anything projects that need to be looked at. We'll certainly do that. Okay, so that's a positive with line 8. The email program, we are at the point now we're getting ready to open that up. I just need to go over a couple more things there, and we've virtually ticked everything. We've got the last of the database being loaded in, has been loaded in. So so we'll be announcing the launch on the email very, very short. We're going to a soft launch for that to make sure that everything is functioning correctly, because sometimes, as we all know, there's 3 stages. There's launch, stability, and then momentum. So let's get past the launch and then stabilizing it and then momentum. So once again, we are getting very close to doing that. The third thing I'll speak about is the CEX and our coin control. I do want to congratulate every member that's participated in this. It's been, I believe, a very successful, attack on the dumpers that have been dumping coins in there. Don't necessarily consider that what you see there is actually correct, because there's a little bit of strategy going on, and I can't really explain it because it's something that you've got to work at the time. They make a move, then I make a move. It's a little bit strange out there, and to try and explain it, I can't even explain it to myself, so I'd have trouble explaining it to anyone else. But I believe that we're down to one last dumper. If you look on there now, I've been following the wallet address that the coins have gone to, and this particular person has had 39,000 coins go through their wallet, and they're virtually down to the last of them now in that wallet. So I don't believe there's anyone else out there in the the silly dumping stage. So once those coins have gone, so we have shifted something like 70,000 coins from the exchange. If you want to equate that to what's actually happened out there, the people selling the coins, the dumpers selling the coins, it's hard to work out because we've really forced them down to an extremely low price. So I don't know what the average price is, but let's call it $1 that they've been selling the coins for. That's approximately about $70,000 that they would have received from our members, collectively right through. Because the e-commerce is going to be, and I'll cover that in a moment, is going to be a program where we'll be purchasing coins from the exchange because we'll need them to pay out. And with that, those 70,000 coins, if people were to be selling them now at market makers value, they run in at just around the $50 million mark. So when you think about it, the dumpers have gotten rid of their coins. Those coins have been transferred over to our member base. And so our member base are going to share in that $50 million, not the dumpers out there. I'm sure that when they see what's happened, maybe they'll never bother looking at it to see what's happened, but that's entirely up to them. But I know what's going to be happening out there. So congratulations to members that have bought the coins. And I should imagine that what you're seeing on there will be the last of the coins at those silly prices once they go. I can't imagine that there's anyone else, because I firmly believe we're down to one person left in it there now. So once again, congratulations, and we've almost got control of it back again. To cover the e-commerce, as you know, that our delegation went over to the States and met with the various banking groups, our security people, to the whole range of people that had to be involved with this. And getting information was difficult because of meetings going on, time differences. It was really a bit awkward. But the e-commerce has now been confirmed. It's completed. So we are, once I get with my development team, we'll start working out a process of rolling it out. And that will be very, very soon because we've been given the okay. So we have access to the funds in the account, and we'll be using those, as I said, to purchase coins from the exchange. So anybody that's got coins for sale up there, I would certainly head towards the market maker's value. Anything under that, you'll be underselling your coin, and we certainly don't mind, getting ourselves involved, because it was important to me. I could have let this go and not told members about taking control of the coins. Understand this. So I could have purchased the coins. I mean, these people would have dragged it out. I could have purchased the 70,000 coins there, and the $50 million could be in my pocket. But that's not what teamwork is all about. It's all about sharing it. And people will realize that we try to put as much back to the members as we can, and the members will be the beneficiaries of that. So the e-commerce is, when you see the slick e-commerce that we're going to be rolling out, it's going to attract a lot of merchants. It's going to attract a lot of people, because we are simply giving money away to bring people into the e-commerce. It's a buying group, and having a super huge buying group that are going to have some dollars there as well. A lot of merchants will start to come into it, and we'll be showing you a way where we can actually participate and be helping the merchants sell their products as well. So your income is not going to be based on selling merchants products, but it'll certainly help. Bringing merchants into the equation will certainly help with it as well. So I'll give you more information about the e-commerce as we go, but I just want to confirm that it's been completed and we are ready to go with it. Moving on to the medical program. I've been given information, or I've got my ear to the door to listen to see what goes on, and I can't remember this, that I, like you, am just a member of the medical program, and there are things that I can and can't say, and so I don't want to risk saying too much out there. Look, we have a lot of people looking over our shoulder at the moment to see what we're doing, and taking the opportunity to discredit us in any way they can. So I just want to make sure that I don't go overboard in making statements out there. As we all know, that as I mentioned before, that all of the projects in the medical program we're doing there are all on what we call final stage. Now, final stage means that they're in human testing and they're getting ready for market, to be introduced to the market. And in saying that, it would simply mean that the certificates would become something that will be paid out, because the certificates are paid out in cash to your nominated account. And so I do know that they are preparing now for one of the certificates has matured, and at any moment we'll be seeing evidence of that through the system. I'm going to try and put something in place to help the members out there, but remember this, that my loyalty goes into helping the members in the Boost group, because Boost group is where we are, because I have no idea who other members are in the Smada One link. Even though it's my link, I can't see anything that's going on underneath the Smada One link. The reason we have control of the Boost group is because people fill out a form, and we have that as our database, so we know exactly what's going on. We have leaders within the Boost group where members have got access to their circle of influence, and we'll try and get the information out there so that people, because look, once we look at the what the medical program is about, we look at it from a networking structure, but between the banks and the medical world, they look at the certificate value. They don't look at the MLM structure. It was a very minor MLM structure was put to it, but they don't want it to be seen as MLM. And so any talk about MLM there, it's not something that they do like out there. So we respect that. So that's why we don't try to promote it as such, because in all fairness to it, when with the certificates materialize and we get paid on them, that's where the real money is. It's not in the coins. The coin gives us a bit of traveling money if we get to a level 6 and our downline are paying us from there. We pick up a few coins, but and selling those coins, you will see a fairly decent jump in the coins in the next week or so. So anybody that's after any pet coin, I would certainly look at it now, because it will certainly go up. The Boost group have probably forced the non-sale of coins on the exchange, because what you have there, you have back in the early days, I did buy the swag of the pet coin, and I've been able to use those coins and holding people back from upgrading to higher certificate levels. Therefore, we didn't require the total amount of coins. That's going to change, incidentally, because we're not going to sit there forever on that, because you can imagine that what I'm anticipating is that with our group, with the certificates, and this is a hard one for me to really work it out because I don't exactly know what sort of certificates people are holding, and obviously the project that will go to market. But I'm anticipating that our members are going to be receiving in excess of $10 million from the certificate payout. You can understand when we do that, that we'll have a position there that we'll be able to take on any certificate out there, be able to upgrade to a maximum of level 6, because once again, right now, the return is about 13,000%. So having that said, that percentage is based on the coin value at the moment. As the coin goes up in value, that percentage comes down. It's pretty obvious if the coin now is $1, that's where the percentage comes from, purchasing the certificate and getting your return on that. If the coin value went to $100, well, that would adjust the percentage. Still a very, very high percentage, but that's where they get the percentage from now, and how it's paid out. So look, it is important for a lot of our members to become part of the Boost group, because it's where we identify members, and because we'll be going through multiple certificates once we start with this, and I'll bring into play how we're going to do it. Then it's important that people are part of the Boost group, because it's the only way that we can identify people out there and making sure that members receive their share of what's going on there in the way of the certificates and the coin as well. So definitely, if you're not part of the Boost group, you need to really think about it. It's the only way that this will certainly allow for maximum return, both on the coin coming back in and the certificate value that's in two parts out there. So I'll just quickly go over the medical program, and at the end of that, we'll have a Q&A. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. There are certain things that I'm restricted on out there, but nevertheless, we'll cover what we can. The medical program is something very, very unique, and it's the first time it's ever been done. So there is no comparison that we can compare it to, and a lot of strategies going into play are coming from what we're seeing and what we're working with now. Now, what the medical program is all about is allowing the man in the street to become part of this massive investment where the scientists need dollars. I mean, look at what's happening in the world at the moment with the coronavirus. They're talking about getting a vaccine for that, but it's 18 months off by the sound of it. So I'm sure a lot of resources have been put into that, and that they just need dollars to be able to go and do it. So this allows them to do a lot of research in those areas of medical breakthroughs. So look, this is your opportunity to own part of the medical breakthroughs and earn huge returns on small investments in comparison to what is going on out there. So now this is your turn, because the playing field has been leveled, and you can now share in the wealth that previously was only available for the wealthy people. And you know, in the past, if you wanted to become part of an investor in the medical breakthroughs, you really had to talk in the tens of millions of dollars. They weren't interested in talking to people with just a handful of small change. You had to have quite a bit of money. Investing into research is expensive, but the return on investment is bigger. This figure of 13,000% is not made up by me or anyone else. It comes from the medical world. It's what they have to work out the exact figures on things out there so that they present to the pharmaceutical companies, their investors, and it has to be vetted by the bank. The bank who own this program, HSBC Bank, and their associated banks, they have to make sure that this is genuine. So what you're looking at there is something that's put there by the medical world and vetted and okayed by the HSBC Bank. Certainly not by me. I have nothing to do with that, and by anyone else that is purely just a member. Now, the main issue of concern in a membership program is the lack of cohesion direction. Members have to build a profitable network business. It's impossible, in fact, to build a controlled team where there are so many products, or in this case, 10 projects. With 10 projects going, it would mean that you would need your team to be part of every project. Now, in the YPEC, which is your private equity community, the Boost Group membership is the only solution to provide a tightly controlled team build benefiting all members. So right now, if you did want to go and run your own link and build your team, it would cost your wallet about $600 to just start out on all 10 projects with a pet coin at $3 a coin. And that may be achievable while the coin is at that price. But what happens when the coin goes to $10 and $15 and $30 and beyond? It's going to be virtually impossible. So having your own single team build would be an extremely hard way. You'll certainly be able to get your certificates investment going out there, but you won't benefit from the MLM structure, the very small MLM structure that's associated with this program. Now, we have many people wanting to join this incredible program. The main holdup is the registration process through coin exchange, and so we identified that and we have rectified it. So a lot of people wanting to join have got to buy coins, they've got to register with CEX, they've got to provide documentation for KYC, and so it's a process and it's slow. So we've sped that up a little bit because we do have things to do ourselves. Right now, we're in the process of putting in approximately 60 new memberships in there. So I mean, now is certainly a good time to be part of it because there's a lot of activity going on there. So 60 new memberships will go in over the next day or two. So you'll see the numbers start to increase. We're always looking at ways that we can help our community. This package will include a fully paid level 1 certificate in the stonemason's disease, fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. So I wanted to just call that FOP, a lot easier. And the value on the certificate is approximately $3,300 odd. Now, that could be less when it's paid out, or it could be more. There's no guarantee that it's more or less. It's just that's an approximate value. So once they do the final numbers with the pharmaceutical company on any of this, then the certificates are paid out. Now, also, you get a personalized Next Level Africa email address, plus you are placed in the 4x7 forced matrix. Now, this is a force-fed, the email program income, which is in the process of getting ready to launch, and we have been really working diligently on that to have it ready, and I believe it is ready now. So I'll just get the final sign off and we'll be launching that out there. So, and this is really a cost of all of this is $95. And this is a one-off $95 to come in to be part of all of that. So when you consider that coming in, you will receive your certificate that's valued at $3,600 odd, and you'll receive a position in the email matrix. So it's quite a good value. I don't believe anyone could match the of what we can do with this for the members. Now what we've done as well, we've added a promotion into it for the time being, and I will tell you this, that we had a limit on what we were going to do, but I think that we have now gone over that limit, but I'm going to run it just for a little bit longer out there. So if anyone wants to take advantage of it, is certainly now's the time. Now promotion 1 is you get 2 Boost Group memberships, and that would be a cost of $170, which is $85 for each account. And remember this, you get your 2 accounts in your email program as well. So you're entered into 2 different matrices. Promotion number 2 is you get 5 Boost Group memberships. That would be 400 USD, equals $80 per account. And once again, because of taking 5 positions, you get 5 positions in the in the Boost Group and 5 positions in the email program. Now promotion number 3 is 10 Boost Group memberships, which is $700. Now that equals $70 for each account. And that's the form that you need to go in and fill out the form. You need to fill out a form for each account you're taking. If you're taking 1 account, you need to fill out 1 form. If you're taking 10 accounts, you need to fill out 10 forms, because those are then placed individually into the various things like the Boost Group, and because we create emails for each account, and each account will have its own username identifiable to look, towns and countries around the world, because we figured that that was a better corporate way to go with it, rather than using all the the names we've all used out there, our usernames that only mean something to us. But when you do it in a corporate structure, and if you go to your private equity community, you will see a listing there of the membership out there. I think it's just over 500 now that we've got listed, with probably another 100 or more to go in there. So that's really what we've achieved in our group over the last 5 weeks. And in that 5 weeks, we've had technical issues, and it was only just probably 2 weeks ago that they were all rectified. I've been keeping an eye on it to make sure that they are fixed, and it certainly I haven't seen any issues with it at all there. So that's simply all you need to do with that. And as I said, that we are looking at extending it for a little bit longer, but we can't run it forever on that sort of money. So this promotion is limited to 200 signups, but as I said, we've gone over that now, and so we'll let it go for a little bit longer, and then we'll have to pull the pin on it. So let's show the bank and the medical science world that we are the go forward in this program. With our support network being trained to manage the masses coming into this program, I believe this is the only way that you can maximize your return on investment in this program. Because if you go into even the Smada group, you're really by yourself. Everything is under the Smada One link. There's that's the link that everyone joins on. So some people who are looking at their referrer and it's got no referrer out there, it's all Smada One, because you're in that, there's only one matrix, and the Boost Group are just part of that matrix. They're at the bottom of the matrix, and so that's where it is. And each program has its own matrix, so it's a little bit complicated to explain it out there until once we get going. And I'm sure that when the certificate rolls out, the reality of this program is certainly going to be there. All right, look, I'm going to turn it over to Angelina now to just to compile any questions that we might have there, and I'll come back and see if I can answer all of the questions. Thank you.
Nice and tidy system that we do enroll our Boost Group members. Now, for anyone who is on the fence for joining the Boost Group and does submit their information application, we need to remind people that take a little bit of patience for us to get back to you. Also, if you don't find it, find the email in response in your inbox. Please go through all of your other folders in Gmail, for example, including your spam folder, because our emails tend to land in the spam folder. We will be responding to the email that you fill out on the form as being your best contact. So please don't post in the Skype room saying that you haven't heard from us yet. Go back and check. Okay, so it's difficult for us also to reply to questions if we don't know who you are. We have a question here regarding line 8 from the school teacher. I'll have you reissue that question and identify who you are. It's only us that sees the comments, so please identify who you are. And so Noel, we have a question from Jenny, if you can pick up the questions from that point, where she's asking about the sale of the coins on the CEX and how they will impact so many of us right away. And if you'd like to start there with Jenny's question, that would be terrific. I'll hand the mic back over to you.
So many of us right away. My question is about that. Will the coins from the CEX be purchased for e-commerce in a lump sum at the beginning or in small bits as needed for e-commerce? What actually happens in the e-commerce program, just so that as we get rolling with it, we'll be paying people in NLA coin. So let's assume something. Let's assume that for this month that there's been, I'm just using a figure, it's not necessarily the correct figure, but let's say $1 million worth of coin has been issued to the e-commerce members. We will then draw whatever's required, in this case $1 million, from the account, and we will purchase $1 million worth of the coin. Now the coin will be purchased at whatever's on there. If people want to sell the coins cheap, that's okay. You do what you like, but we'll be purchasing at least to the market maker's value. So in other words, if it were today, we would be purchasing coins at $677 a coin. It's not going to be done in bits and pieces. It's going to be done because as people realize that with the coin, and I can only speak from myself, is that there's another aspect of it which we call staking. As you accumulate coins, you get staking on having your wallet open. A lot of members are experiencing that now, And so it's probably an area where I'm not really wanting to sell my coins because I receive coins in staking. And if I'm going to sell coins, it might be the coins that I stake. Because you can imagine if you're staking a coin and having enough coins out there to stake, you could get to a point where you're receiving a coin a day, 2 coins a day. And so that would be more than enough to cover your expenses, unless you're after a high ticket item. So because we release payment of $1 million worth of NLA coin, that's not to say that that's going to be for sale on the exchange. So if there's no coins for sale on the exchange, the market maker will release more coins. We may have to go slightly over the market maker's value, because remember this, how the market maker sets the value on the coin. It's all based on, we have 2 components going on here. We have an investment going where the bank add funds to the asset account in Next Level Africa. We've all seen that out there. And the other side of it is that the market maker works out the sale price on the coin. Right now, because we've been selling coins in the exchange for a ridiculous price, you might not see that reflect too high in the increased value of the coin. But once that we've gotten rid of that and coins are selling up around the market maker's value, and in some cases beyond that, the market maker will revalue the coin accordingly. So I'm expecting our coin to really jump quite high. So this will be something ongoing out there, and we'll just be purchasing the amount of coins we require. We need to keep a stack of coins because we need to be able to pay out on the coins so that members have their coins and they can do whatever they want with them. Have that answered that question? So we certainly are moving there. June's asking when we'll be able to transfer coins from NLA to our CEX. This is all something that we'll be getting all this completed now. There's a lot of things to come into play with NLA, and that's everything is a priority out there, and it will all be dealt with. There's a major list of things I want to have happen. So we'll need to address all of those. Sharon saying, hi, I noticed that there is a auto G. I'm not sure what auto G is. If we're talking about auto upgrade in the PIT program, I don't believe that could ever work out there if anyone's interested in that, because you've got 10 projects. I just even though the program has said that they can get it to work, I just can't see how it could possibly work. So I'll find out a bit more about that with the auto upgrade, but I really don't see it working. I think you've got to have a look at your back office to see where you're at, because these projects are only going to be there for whatever length of time and then they're gone. So keeping an eye on the projects you're involved with is probably important. You need to look into your account. James is asking, when will we see the matrix for the email plus income? When it's launched out there, James, as I said, we're getting very, very close to that now. And I've been up most nights trying to keep in touch with our group in America to get things happening there. Everything is a priority, but one of the priorities I had out there was the e-commerce. So all of this will start to roll in now that we've gotten certain things completed. I'm just reading a particular question here. We have some people involved with us at the moment. They're running look at campaigns, so I'm sure that some of these people that ask questions there, I'm not really prepared to answer them. So if you've asked a question out there and it's not answered, it's because I don't see fit to answer the questions. They're not tricky questions. It's just that they'll all come out. The questions out there, the things like the You Invest back office certificates out there. So how is the dividend paid? All of this will be made very, very clear. They're putting it in place now. I do know that it's going into play now, and so all of that, they've got record of what certificates you have in your back office. You've got a certificate number, so all of those certificates will be paid on your certificate number, and you can download the certificate if you wish. So they are all there, and the information will appear on the site. Jeffrey's asking, how come the bank haven't topped up the asset account for the last few weeks? Look, you probably need to ask the bank on that. I should imagine that there's reasons on it. I noticed that Chingaling hasn't gone, but this, with the meetings that went on in the States, they were all discussing trading of the coins that all had to happen through the exchange, including Chingaling and NLA. So there may have been things held back, but you'll find that the asset accounts will be topped up as soon as they release the funds to go in there. And even if it goes 6 weeks, 2 months, the money doesn't disappear. Whatever money is available to be topped up, because you might see a nice jump in the coin when they put the new values on there, and I think you will. Yeah, look, Sharon, I figured you're talking about the automatic updates in that, so that look, it's showing there that you can set it to on, but I just don't believe it's working. And I've looked at it. They told me it was, but it's not. I've double checked, and so it's just not working, and I can't see how it could work. So it's one of those areas out there. Okay, so we've got the school teacher, Yoda. What's going to happen with the coin balances on line 7? If the bank don't send me the information required, my programmers will send me what the status was before because we've got record of all of that. So I will go through and make sure the coins are correct, and then I'll put a claim into the bank for whatever coins I've had to put there. So I will make the coins whole in those accounts on line 7, and we'll make sure that everyone has got their coins that need coins there, and then from that we'll claim back through the bank. Jackie, when the medical certificates mature, do we have a choice to sell immediately, or can we hold them? And if we hold them, is there a possibility of the value going up? Look, no, they will pay you out as soon as they have all the details there. They will just simply pay you out, and therefore the certificates are not something that we can hold. If you've got a certificate there and the value on it is $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, they'll pay it out. You'll nominate your bank account and you'll be paid in cash on that. So we are. Cecil's asking, will the auto upgrade work in the medical program? Once again, as I mentioned there, Cecil, I don't believe it will, because you're dealing with 10 different projects, and so I can't see how it could work by dealing with 10 different projects. Okay. Kim, a question that is on so many minds is how long till the e-com opens? Could it be open before the end of February or March? The answer to that is positively yes. Before the end of this month, it will certainly be open. We have got it ready to go now, so we'll just be loading a lot of the founding member packages. People that form the founding members of it, they'll be loaded in, and we will be launching once those people are in place, and a lot of information will come out about it. But we're only waiting to have it signed over, to have the banks okay it. The meeting in the States was not about presenting it. It was just about getting it okay. We had to go to the security over there, and the bank that hold the funds is JP Morgan Chase Bank. So it had to be finalised with that group. Jen, thanks for answering Jenny's question about the e-commerce and LA coins. Can you clarify what you mean by buying coins as needed? What does the needed part mean? Does something need to happen with the e-commerce before you know what is needed? Well, what is needed by what's paid out? If we've paid out to, if we've got 1 million members and we pay out coins, we need to replace those coins so that members have the coins. So that's all I'm getting at. And we want to stay in front with the coins. So it's not a question of just doing the exact amount. We want to stay in front with it. So we'll need to purchase. I want to be able to purchase a couple of million coins to have them there, so that we have plenty of coins. Because as the coins go up in value, we can also capitalize on that as well. So we want to make sure we've got plenty of coins. So there's going to be a massive purchase of coins. Remember, the asset, or it's not an asset account, it's a trading account. It has $57 billion in it. And all we need to do is to show the bank what we've done with it, purchasing the coin, and then we can draw the funds. Pat's asking, do the coins need to be in your wallet to stake? And that would be yes. Having your wallet turned on and staking happens from there. If you've got less than 100 coins, I wouldn't bother. It's not worthwhile staking for that. But once you start getting over that, look, it's hard to work it out, but it's approximately, if we look, about 1,200 coins would give you 1 coin a month, if that's any help out there on it, because it's 1.5% and that compounds. BJ Taylor's asking how long will it take to load up, and how long before line. Let's get line 8 in there before we talk about line 9. So it'll take as long as it takes. There's a lot of work to go into this. So once we have it ready, I want it in yesterday. If it was up to me, it would be in yesterday. So it'll be done as quickly as we possibly can. Okay, Jeff's asking, when are those who became founding members e-commerce going to get the details and password for this? We have tried many times and we are ignored. Well, you're not being ignored there. I want you to understand that the founding members, all of the accounts are there, right? There's no, not in the e-commerce, we're putting that in now, but in the founding member packages in Next Level Africa, they're all allocated there. So we just wanted to make sure that we had everything in place, and we'll be releasing all of those accounts to members out there. So it's not going anywhere, Jeff. You've got the account out there, and you'll receive login details. We're we're in the process of doing that now for everybody who's a founding member. So a lot of these members will start to receive their login details, but the accounts are already there. We haven't created the accounts. The accounts have already been there. Ray saying someone from Boost Group has just upgraded in my Smada One account. Is that right? Well, it could very well be. Some of them were left in the because they weren't part of the Boost Group over there. So I really don't know. If you want to send in who it is, we can look it up to see, but it's not going to be anyone from the Boost Group group out there as we have it. So anyone that's been left, because a lot of the names have been changed, as you well know. Some of them were changed to, a lot of them, I think 180 of them were changed to what they call blah blah. So you've got blah blah 1, 2, 3 and so on. And there were a couple there that were mistakenly put together for, and we couldn't rectify it. So we can't actually cancel any accounts, but we had them reassigned to Smada One if they weren't part of the Boost Group family. Maxine, now is the time for members to start familiarising themselves with the user guide on the Smadaworld site so they can understand what and how it works, or other sites to help members get their business in order. That's exactly right. It's your responsibility to get this information. Well, I mean, look, we get people coming into our rooms. As an example, there were a person there that's been put in the room to give him a bit of help. He wants us to help him. He does not know his username. He does not know, and we, to deal with that, we can't deal with it in a room. They need to go to support, because we need to be asking them personal details. We can't just respond to someone who says, I don't know anything, and then us asking, well, what's your name? And then replying to them and giving them some sort of login details. We can't do that in a room. So please respect that, and put your email support ticket in so that we can respond to it through the right department on it. I think I've covered, and we're almost at the top of the hour. So with that, I might hand it back to Angelina to close things up. And thank you very much again for everyone attending. I hope I've answered the questions that you had mainly concern about. And as I said, the Boost Group is certainly the way to move through the medical program. And over the next 24 to 48 hours, I've got to work out exactly how we go about the certificates and helping our members maximise on the certificates that are getting ready to be paid out. Thank you again, and I'll hand it back to Angelina. Bye for now.
I did post another reply to you in the chat if you're still online, if you'd like to look at that, please. And thank you for joining us, and enjoy your Valentine's Day today or tomorrow, and we will see you soon on the next webinar. Sorry, thank you for coming out today. Bye for now.